So in the last Spider-Man Brand New Day leak video, I really tried to focus on a lot of the extremely big news that was kind of being talked about around, of course, the movie and what was being leaked online by fans who, of course, attended Disney's merchandise preview event thing, whatever the hell was going on. I don't even know what was happening there, but obviously, for those of you who haven't seen that video, I talked about the recent reports and leaks that Hulk would actually have a pretty dominant part in the new movie, specifically leaks saying he would be potentially the main villain. Again, I kind of wanted to focus on in this video the lesser known, leaks that have been coming out as of late that haven't been, I think, as popular as the Hulk leak. And I mean, for probably pretty good reason. The Hulk leak was absolutely insane. It was almost as insane as the time Overtime Megan got leaked on freaking Twitter. But again, outside of Hulk being kind of leaked as, one of the big villains of the movie, it does seem to be, it is being reported that Nicole Kidman is being eyed to play the female villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. According to insider MTTSH, Nicole Kidman is being eyed to play the female villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It was previously reported that Marvel Studios were casting for a dark, mysterious female character with a Japanese-inspired look. Now, a lot of people have gone to the comments on these type of posts that have been talking about this, saying, why are they casting a white character for a white actor for a Japanese character? But as you can see, this is not saying it's a Japanese character. It is saying a Japanese inspired look. And I mean, the report of, them kind of talking about these Asian characters, I think are really starting to come out. I think most of them are true. Again, the Brand New Day, of course, comic series does actually introduce Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, of course, an Asian villain in the Spider-Man universe, who happens to be pretty much my favorite Spider-Man villain. Again, he's said to be in this movie. We know as well the director of this film is actually Asian himself, and of course directed Shang-Chi, which had a main variety of actors who were, of course, Asian. So I think he's definitely actually taking influence from a lot of different things for this film, and it looks like, again, we're going to be getting a Japanese-inspired look for the other villain of this film outside of Mr. Negative, and we're going to be getting it in a female character. Now, I don't know who this is. This is very strange to me, especially considering Nicole Kidman is a lot older than a lot of the actors who have been thrown around for a lot of the different roles that we've heard so far. Again, she's definitely not going to be a love interest, I wouldn't assume, for Peter Parker, Spider-Man. I don't think so, unless they've got this Peter going and targeting MILFs or something. I don't know. So that automatically rules out any Black Cat talk that I've also been seeing online. I mean, Japanese look doesn't really sound too much like Black Cat. I honestly don't know who this character is supposed to be, and there's been 897 different theories about what is potentially going on here, and I, to be honest, really don't know. So it is interesting. Nicole Kidman is a actor I wouldn't have thought they would have been targeting, but here we are, and that is what's going on there. Again, as we know, touching on Mr. Negative, that sounds really inappropriate now that I think about it. Going back to Mr. Negative, who I just previously mentioned, as we know, he is supposed to be in the movie, and it looks like they are currently casting for him right now. Again, one of the commonly targeted actors by a lot of fans who people would love to be in the movie does actually happen to be Steven Yeun, who is reported that he's being eyed for the role of, potentially Mr. Negative. It is being said by a couple different reports that he's actually just eyed for a role in general. So considering there's supposed to be a bunch of different characters in this film, I wonder if that is the plot twist, is he actually might get hired for this film, and we all think he's playing Mr. Negative, and he's actually not. He might be playing a different character. Again, Chameleon was actually reported a month or so ago that he might potentially be in this film, and I actually think he would be a really cool actor to play him. Again, Daniel Wu is also reportedly in talks to potentially be playing Mr. Negative in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Don't really know much about Daniel Wu, but I think he's predominantly been in a lot of Asian movies, and I think over the last 10 years or so, I could be very wrong on this, has been transitioning to much more English movies, which, again, he seems to actually be a really popular actor, and a lot of the support online has been there for him. So I think it could be one that a lot of people are interested in. It says, according to Reacted Spider, there are some rumors about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Daniel Wu is apparently the front runner for Mr. Negative, but no final decision yet. Pen Zhang, known for Shang-Chi's choreography, will also handle the action of the film. So again, looks like Destin Daniel Cretton is, of course, staying really in-house with this. So again, the villains are going to be really interesting to see who they go with, because we've heard rumors on absolutely everyone. We've got the Hulk, Chameleon, Mr. Negative, whoever the hell freaking Nicole Kidman is apparently potentially playing. I don't even know what's going on there, but it looks like this film will have a ton of villains in it, and I think that has got people a little bit scared and people a little bit curious on how that is going to work, especially considering we've seen a Spider-Man movie like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 have a ton of villains and really not be able to handle them, not being able to build these characters up and give them a good enough backstory in the limited screen time they have to actually please fans. Again, I think that movie obviously had Electro, like a little Goblin Jr. thing. Rhino was in that film. They teased a bunch of other different people. Again, I think in the MCU, though, they have really proven they have been able to handle a ton of different characters. And I wouldn't be surprised if, I've mentioned this before, the start of the movie is actually what the original Spider-Man 4 was supposed to be with Tobey Maguire. And that is Spider-Man actually taking down a bunch of the C and D level type of villains and having kind of like a montage type of thing of that, just showing what Spider-Man has been doing the last couple years since the last movie. So again, I don't know if they would look at someone like a Nicole Kidman, such a big and well-known actor, to play such a small role. That would probably be a couple minutes of screen time. But in again, we've seen weirder things with Marvel. I think Brad Pitt played the invisible vanishing man or whatever in Deadpool 2 and was in it for like 5 seconds. I mean, shit, if Brad Pitt can do that, maybe that's what they're planning on doing with like Nicole Kidman. Again, I don't think so. I don't know. But yeah, I think that is how the film could very well start. And then after that, it will show what his life is like as Peter Parker, which I think will be much more depressing, especially considering no one knows who he is. No one remembers who he is, other than the Hulk, which is another reason the Hulk could actually be really cool in this movie, is because the Hulk is one of the only people who still remember that Spider-Man is still Peter Parker. And we saw that in the comics, that he, I think, was one of the only ones who the spell actually didn't work on. So that would be interesting if we had that scene of Hulk saying that he remembers Peter. Again, there's supposed to be a ton of different villains in this movie. A lot of Asian theme type of characters as well. Of course, Mr. Negative. Whatever the hell they're cooking with Nicole Kidman. Apparently Japanese style character. But it looks like Destin Daniel Cretton is really taking from Shang-Chi and putting that in Spider-Man, which I actually really love, because the first Spider-Man game with Mr. Negative is one of the most peak video games of all time. One of my all-time favorite games, probably top 5 for me, obviously, and really made Mr. Negative pretty much my all-time favorite Spider-Man villain. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this in the movie. I really trust the director that they're going to be able to handle it. I just don't know how Hulk comes into play with all this, and that's the part that I'm still really confused about. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all does unfold. Again, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions down below on the villains of this movie. Nicole Kidman, what's happening there? Mr. Negative, Martin Lee, who's going to be playing him? Will he be in the movie like the leaks are saying? Again, could Chameleon be played by an Asian actor as well if he's in it, in maybe Steven Yeun? Again, definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Subscribe to my sports channel, which will also be getting linked down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.